Hello, my name is Francis Fox, and I'm a trained remote viewer, and all my psychic skills have been developed through decades since childhood. I was part of a military mind control program looking for human potential, superpowers. My IQ was raised 30, 40, 50 points. At least that was what I was told. So, I'd like to start this chat today, which really is not a chat because I don't even answer any questions, by saying that when I sketch the maps, which is what is drawing the most attention, I don't have an agenda because my training is not to have an agenda. When you have an agenda, which is why science has been prostituted, okay, in this part of the world, I don't know other parts of the world, I don't have an agenda. I need to sketch what's there, even if I'm not happy with it. It doesn't matter because to not be happy with it before I sketch means that I am not doing true intuitive work. I have an agenda, I have an opinion, I have what they call an emotional overlay on my psychic abilities. I don't do that. I never know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to get. And I show you what it is I get. And I haven't held back anything till now, and I don't have any intentions. I have to say that I have been shocked at how great the sketches of the United States look. And then all of a sudden, Mexico also. And today, Canada not looking so good. Now, with everything that you see in the news, you would think that this is a country that is totally falling apart. I think maybe it's not falling apart. I think maybe stuff is being revealed. We are in revelations, and those revelations are creating reactions. Some people to, we're going to get this fixed, and other people to, we don't want this to be fixed because we're afraid of what's going to happen if you fix it, such as I'm not going to get my pension, etc. So I want you to know that I am not controlling what comes out in these maps. So let's go ahead. And we're in really exciting times, by the way. So let's go ahead and do the map first. This is the map for today, 24th of March, 2025. United States has the protection. That's like a bubble. It's going to be sounding a little bit like the bubble that's above the pyramids. I forget what science calls that. It's something, it's an anomaly that's around the pyramids. I should have looked up the word, where there's different things happening there. By the way, Elon Musk, I think that we should look into that through remote viewing, that's on top of the pyramids that they found that I don't remember what the name is, because I think that whatever that is facilitates space travel. Back to the map. So we have the heart. We do have an elongated line here, which would be the left side of the heart. I don't know what that means, but it's a heart. I'm going to take it. You have Florida almost looking like a chakra, like a lotus flower. So this is the helpful friends section of the country. This is really good, having to do with all of us and our friends, but this country and its friends. And it was interesting because yesterday, when I did the map, let's see if I can pick this up without everything falling down. What I picked up was there's worldwide compliments on disclosure and conspiracies. They're complimenting the United States. So this is good. Canada's not safe. I don't know why I started to pick up Canada. And yesterday or the day before, I sketched that Canada was spiritually broken. I don't think I used the word broken, and I don't want to. Canada is totally unstable spiritually. That was 2 days ago. I don't know if something's going to happen, and that's why my psychic abilities wanted me to sketch this, to write it for us to know. Okay. Mexico and the United States have tied destinies. If some of you don't like that, don't argue with me. But they appear to have tied destinies. So what I sketched on the bottom, not good. Underworld is exploding. Remember, I talked about the fact that the BP oil accident opened a hole in one of the layers of planet Earth. And that has everything to do with the fact that the Mayans said there had to be a new calendar because that hole changed the frequency of the planet. It did not change it. December 21st, 2012. Everybody, well, nothing happened December 21st. What was happening was not in the physical dimension. What's happening today, you have to widen your lens. But if you only believe in this incarnation, then of course your lens is when you were born, when you die, or maybe your grandparents. No, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to struggle with that. Underworld exploding. I also told you yesterday, the day before, that when I, in my classes, go to close the door to the underworld in the participants of the classes, 2 weeks ago, that door was not there. We're talking about a portal that's been around since man was put on the planet, came on the planet, started on the planet. It's gone. But that's the door to the underworld. That's the door to the 7 energy centers, chakras that you have in the underworld. I have a separate set. Everybody has a separate set. There's no door. You know why? What are doors for? An opening in a wall. There's no wall anymore between us and the underworld. And the underworld is pushing up. And the underworld, in the Bible, they say it's hell down there. Totally accurate. So a lot of the craziness we're seeing and the explosion in craziness that we may be seeing, because the future's elastic and plastic, will be due to, here it says underworld exploding. So we apparently are going to be safe. We have that protection. Mexico is going to be safe. I'm sure a lot of other places will be safe. I haven't sketched anything. But Canada, it says spiritually weak. I don't remember the word now. And this is very definitely spiritual stuff because it's non-physical. Everything that's non-physical is spiritual. That's why the Catholic Church had everybody by the throat when they said that if it wasn't physical, then it was a domain of the church. Well, you know what? The Catholic Church didn't take care of us in the other dimensions. They have a lot of information. They kept it for themselves. So my last statement on the map was the issues may be catastrophes, not politics. How do we get ready for that? If we had trained the population in the fact that we create our reality with our minds, and that all we have to do is point our minds, Elon calls it this vector, and it is a vector of intention towards the intention of stability, then we could simply do public service announcements and say, okay, this is the mantra of the week, or this is the prayer of the week. Please, God, help us with our intention, da, 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 da. But we haven't done that because our religions have stopped us from becoming operational in the other dimensions. And then regular, nice people have been trained. They see the third eye, that's it, conspiracy. Oh, God. How do we get over that? Do we need that whole population, a couple generations that are still around to stop? The younger people don't have a problem with it. They can be educated really quickly. Anyway, everybody has a third eye. Whatever you own, you actually should know about, and you should be operational in it. So I am hoping at some point that something changes and that we're going to get not permission, but support in getting baseline information to the population. And then to say, it appears that this problem is coming down the pike, and this would be the prayer, which is a mantra plus breath. Might help. Let's do this visualization, and then you get hundreds of thousands of people doing it, and the problem is avoided. It's called a miracle, but it's not a miracle. It's focused intention. It's superpowers, but it's a harnessing of the power of the mind, but of a lot of people, not just little groups that do black magic, not just the people who are so angry that they're able to recreate reality in 2 seconds flat with their rage. So we need to get that done soon, because I think everybody's saying something big is going to happen at the end of March. We're at the end of March. For some reason, this protection is here. For some reason, we have the triple, quadruple protection of the Galactic Federation. I was listening to, I don't generally listen on YouTube to what other people say the Galactic Federation says, and these entities say. I don't generally listen to that. But I had to wait a few minutes for this chat to start. And I wanted to put on my Mantrista music to continue to clear up my bedroom for whatever it is that happened last night in the other dimensions. It's no wonder we don't wake up refreshed the way we used to. Anyway, I have not seen Adam Schiff. He has not returned to my knowledge, maybe in the middle of the night, but I have not seen him. Anyway, so what they said, that there were two important events that were happening now that were good for the planet. One of them was what's going on with the pyramids in Egypt, that somebody escaped from the vicious grip of the archaeologists and of science, escaped from them and used some technology, and is showing some pictures, I don't know what you call them, that there's a lot more going on with the pyramids than what we could see. Yes, there is a lot more going on with the pyramids than we can see on the physical dimension. It's in the other dimensions. And there's something of a dome over it. I should have looked up the word. I didn't. That dome. Elon, pay attention. That dome has a consistency. It has an intention. I haven't looked at it. Actually, tonight we're going to go with my group. We're going to go back. We went to the pyramids maybe a year ago to speak, because I saw some spaceships on top of the pyramid. Well, if they were so dead, there would be no spaceships there right now. There were spaceships there. So as a group, we went, and I told everybody to have the intention to talk to somebody, to go inside the spaceships and to talk to somebody. And several people, we were several hundred people, 400 people, live. And then after that, there's a couple, like 1,500, 2,000 more, that whatever. And I went inside the ship and I spoke to whatever ET was there. And that, remember, I said this already. He was the one who said to me, this spaceship is an extension of our mind, not my mind, his, the ET's. Just like Elon Musk's Neuralink, the spaceship is an extension of our minds, of the ET minds. Some of the people on X that talk about all the alien stuff, a couple of them have said that they have been told this, or have heard this, or know this from the aliens, that their spaceships are an extension of their mind. And so the ET told me Elon Musk's work in Neuralink is doing that. And of course, so many people don't trust that. We could start with me initially, because it's scary. And I'm a Cancer. We're very conservative. Yeah, I know. I don't look conservative. We're very conservative. We don't like change quickly. That sounds suspicious. But once the alien told me that, I went, okay, this is something that is inevitable. So we should embrace it. And then we should do what Atlantis did not do. We should make sure that ethics, how is this going to affect that person? Atlantis didn't do that, and Atlantis went under. So the ethics department in every company that does technological research needs to be supervised. And there needs to be studies. We should get rid of the word science. Most people don't know that in the dictionary, science has a definition, which is the real thing: observe and draw conclusions. It doesn't say you have to have a degree from Yale. It doesn't say you have to be funded by the government. No. And it also doesn't say you have to have peer review. It just says you observe, you draw conclusions. Now, you're not going to get too far if you're the only person that can see that. But that's the definition of science. And in my group, we do science. And it's interesting because the stuff that we did before is now coming up like, hey, what we did was real and it's helpful today. Are we looking for funding for it? No. We actually were doing it for training of the mind, psychic abilities, looking for the superpowers, which we have achieved, some of them to a certain degree. So the pyramids, so this chat, which was declarations from some aliens, was connecting the pyramids and the fact that the truth about the pyramids is going to get revealed, plus the Kennedy assassination. Both of them were connecting both things, which I have no knowledge of that. But I thought it was interesting because it is true. It's coming up. It's revelations, revelations, revelations. What could this have to do with this? Maybe because Kennedy was I have no idea. I just found it really interesting. And that we are entering a new stage in the planet. We have got to kick the scientists out of the way. Kick them out of the way. Take their funding and make them go and do their little classes at the university. And maybe somebody needs to remind them of the definition of science. And you know what? We need to get science out of the way. Science is, by the way, what I do is science in the other dimensions. If you have a hard time accepting me, it's because nobody else has told you this. You don't know my level of accuracy, and it goes against what you were taught and what you believed. That's exactly what Revelations is all about. Everything is going to be destroyed unless it's based on the truth, but also the truth in the other dimensions, or mainly the truth in the other dimensions. So tonight we're going to go to the pyramids. But I think what's most important to find out about is that thing that is on top of the pyramids, which seems to be a different quality air energy. That doesn't surprise me. That makes sense. An interdimensional door, a portal, whatever it is that it is, we need to find that out, because I think, give that to Elon Musk, I think that that is going to help, having to do with leaving the planet. Because the pyramids definitely were constructed with the help of ETs, and definitely ETs coming and going and coming and going. No, there's no question. No question about that. Now, there may be a question if you really are uncomfortable when somebody pulls the rug out from under you and you find out that you really, everything that you were taught was this much, but that what you're really living and what you're going to be living is this big. When they limit information like that, it makes it easy to control you. One of the things, I love a lot of things about the Buddha. And Buddhism is not a religion. It's actually a philosophy based on the mind. And I discovered the structure of the human mind, which is what string theory is all about, but we don't need to go into that. The Buddha said, or it has been said that he said, that the basis for human anguish is ignorance. And ignorance is lack of information. And then we have science not allowing us to dare to walk out of that little box that they're in control of. That when they started their scientific research, they had an intention. But the intention wasn't simply to know. The intention was to prove a point that they already knew in advance, especially if they were funded, and most of them are funded. So, Trump, you need to get the scientists out of the way. I also think, Trump, that it would be really neat, being it that you're getting so many compliments. Like there was another one on X today about, I don't know what religious person saying that Trump was like, I don't remember, Greek Orthodox. It was very, very complimentary. I think it would be a really good idea for this country to make it a goal to find out, to establish the truth of planetary history. Where would the United States be in there? Well, this part of history is really small. We're talking about since the beginning. We're talking about proving finally that the reason you must study mythology is because mythology is true. Why do we have to study mythology? I don't remember. It's not true. Mythology is not true, but we have to study it. And Carl Jung, who we all respect, was really enthusiastic about mythology. I suspect he understood that this was true, but that the public may not have been ready for that. I think, Trump, that we should take the lead on this, especially since science did not allow it. Science has made us look really, really low IQ. Not really low IQ, I guess. Dumb, controlling, arrogant, when it has to do with those alien bodies in Peru. It's embarrassing. The scientists in the United States said that was all fraud. Ugh, they don't have those. You know what? They do have them. Mexico said, hey, let's look at them. They're having so much fun. Because for me, that's fun. When you do these discoveries, for me, that's fun. And now the United States wants to get kind of involved. What is that all about? We have had the money, the technology. We couldn't have the focus because there's groups of people that do not want real science. They want everything within this box at a time when we're in Revelations. So you know what? I think one rule for Revelations, if you want to be in charge of Revelations or you want for Revelations not to take you down, would be to get the people that won't allow Revelations to get the heck out of the way. You need to get the scientists out of the way. No more money for scientists. No more money for universities. Let them enjoy what they already discovered. But wait a second. All their students, they're putting out all these students. Do you know how many times I have worked with people that are like psychologists or doctors? And I've said, but I don't understand why you know this is true. Why haven't you integrated? No, they'd take away my medical license. They'd take away my psychology license. I have somebody who has 5 PhDs. See the way I put up 5 fingers? 5 PhDs. She can't work in what she loves because one of those 5 schools of study will take away her degrees. And I know she's right when she says that. So she has to put people in front to be able to kind of get a little hand into this. So our really good people cannot function. So then you do it in the military. Oh, there are no boundaries there. Nobody stops anybody in the military. But there's secret programs. Promises to put them into the school system and to let the public know. Promises not kept. So I'm very excited about the pyramids and what's above them. I was excited when I saw it on that alien channeling message on YouTube. And the fact that they said that was a huge part of Revelations. Now, for you to really understand only one little piece of the pyramids, they did all of that for one body, one pharaoh that died. They did all of that for the body. All these oils, all of these measured rooms, all these huge monuments for one body? No, they didn't do it for that body. That body, dead, with enough life left in it, which is why they pamper it. For this particular body, the gold body, to function. Now, your physical body is all the way to the left. Your etheric body, which is the electric, is always stuck with the physical. That's what in the pyramids with their oils and their ceremonies and their measured rooms, they're protecting it, and they wrap it to keep it a teeny weeny bit alive at some level. I haven't studied that to be able to give you any information on that. But as long as your physical body has a teeny, and the etheric has a teeny bit of life left in it, then the third body from the left, which is your spirit, which is your astral body, can function, having to do with life on the planet, on the physical dimension. So the pyramids were built not for the physical body, yes, for the physical body, but the goal was to keep alive the part of all of us that's the most important part, which is our spirit. By the way, I looked it up again to make sure I didn't make a mistake. Our spirit, which is our astral body, those bodies are called odor eaters. They like odors. And maybe that's the reason for all that aromatherapy that they wrap the body in, the physical body in. I don't know. We are in incredibly exciting times. And wouldn't it be sweet? Wouldn't it be sweet if we could get the people that are blocking all this incredibly exciting information that will tie into the space program, will tie into us connecting to other planets, will tie into aliens? Wouldn't it be sweet if we could just get them out of the way? Give them a paycheck. Say, listen, you did a good job up till now. You did a good job. In the age of Pisces, when people head down, keep working, slap one cheek, turn the other one, slap the other. You did a good job. That era is over. We're now in the age of Aquarius. We're in Revelations. So maybe we think we're going to go ahead and start to open the door to people that are actually able to see what's going on because they don't have a filter. So in my training as a remote viewer, very strict, they did not allow emotional or analytical overlays, which are like the windshield in your car. You're driving, there's a windshield that stops, the bugs from hitting you and whatever, the wind, whatever, but it's an overlay and it can get dirty. So in the training for remote viewing, you weren't allowed any overlays, which really meant that you weren't asked to read anything that you might have a connection to. I couldn't read the Caribbean because I was in Miami, half Cuban. So I couldn't read anything about the politics in the Caribbean because I had an emotional overlay. I also was not allowed to watch TV, read newspapers, or look at magazines. Many years after that training was over, when you would have thought that I would have kind of dropped the programming, I realized that, and that was when I was doing my therapy, when I started to remember the tortures and the rapes, and oh my God, what was this? How come I didn't remember this? And the therapist said, well, because you couldn't have functioned if you had. Okay, fine, whatever. I moved to a new place and I realized that I was watching television through a mirror. Across from me was a TV set. And I guess having to deal with this handler that I had was an agent that specialized in CIA agents who went bad, and a rogue agent, that's what they were considering me at that point. So here's the TV, here's my bed, but over here there was a mirror, for me to put on my makeup, whatever. I would look at TV through the mirror. I would look at the mirror to watch TV. I don't know how many months that went on because that was a really ugly time. Oh my God. And I really, what am I doing? And then I realized I was paying attention to my protocol. Not supposed to watch TV, not supposed to look at the news. So we are in such exciting times. We are in such exciting times, and the United States is looking great. Venezuela was looking great. I haven't done Venezuela for a couple of weeks. Great. Mexico's looking really good. Now, on the physical dimension, you would say, oh my God, what a mess in the United States. Or, spraying up Teslas and blah, blah, blah. and people are so angry. Well, the people that are angry are basically powerless, and they're acting out the excess fire that they have, their frustration. And wouldn't it be nice if we could just hire 100 people? I don't think it would take more than that, and have them hours a day icing down the country in the other dimensions. You don't have to touch the physical dimension. Reality is created in the other dimensions. So you go, and that's where the elements are. You don't have to have a glacier. You can visualize the glacier in the other dimensions. We have 100 people. We pay them 8 hours a day. You have 3 shifts, and they're icing down the whole country. Any place gets a hot spot, let them ice them down. I just invented this right now. There's no reason why we shouldn't do that. If I had a big enough bank account, I would do that. Do I have a big enough bank account for that right now? Oh, that takes me to gossip. I think somebody's trying to set me. I feel like crying right now, but not because of somebody trying to set me up, but because what I said. I think I can do this. 100 people, 8 hours a day, 3 shifts, cool down the United States. But no, let's go on. Gossip. I'm getting some funny stuff going on in my store, Shopify. I have had, and these are how many people? 9 people that have gone into my Shopify. We, by the way, have a lot of movement in my Shopify. We have a lot. I mean, even Shopify is like, God, you have so many people that come in. Okay, we have a lot of people from Latin America that really can't buy anything because they just don't have the money. It's fine. So that movement doesn't necessarily translate into incredible sales. Okay. Estella's saying that it was exactly a year ago, March the 8th, that we went to the pyramids, and we did it to activate the pyramids for protection. I didn't even remember that. Estella is an incredible mantrita follower, brilliant, dedicated, focused, tremendous memory. Thank you, Estella. So it was exactly a year ago that we went there. Anyway, back to I think somebody's trying to set me up. Well, I have been told that for months. They're trying to do something, and they already did something about a year and a half ago, in which I believe that I was hypnotized, drugged, and put through these 2 god-awful sessions, sexual sessions, with people and doing things that I would never have done. And to kind of like blackmail me, that never went to me, but I'm not too sure that that was not shown to people that would have certainly been really upset if because they might have thought, oh, whatever. The point of the matter is that this wouldn't be the first time they're trying to set me up. So on my Shopify, 9 different people, all of them Anglo, all of them with male names. They go to my page for paying for services. The page doesn't say what services. It just says paying for services. Because when I had appointments with clients, or I did an aura analysis, every one of them was different. So the amount that they had to pay was different. And I would tell them, and if they wanted the service, I'd say, go to this page and just put in the amount that you and I both talked about and you agreed to, and that's it. So I don't know what they thought that page was for, but they would go through the entire process, and then it would click to 0, and then it's up on it's documented in my Shopify list of sales, but there's $0. So I don't know if they think that, I don't know if they think that I'm getting money from somebody, because I did have something really interesting happen. I guess it was like 4 years ago. I had a huge client that had to pay me a huge amount of money, the second most that I have ever gotten in a contract. It was a couple of $100,000, and it was a weekend. And the client wanted to see me and was flying in to see me, and I didn't know if this person was going to be a client or not. And I was not going to sit down at a dinner table with them, which is what was set up, unless this client was going to actually be hiring me. We had already agreed on it, but I didn't know the client. I didn't want to play games. So I said, listen, it's actually a funny story. I said, you really have to give a deposit, or don't bother coming to this country, and we cannot have dinner. We'll wait until you're ready. She did, but she didn't give me a deposit. She paid the entire amount, which was over $200,000 on my Shopify page. Well, within 24 hours, the credit card company, it was actually Stripe, Stripe, they won't work with me even today. They canceled me. And they said, it's going to take us 3 months to give you your money. We need to make sure that this is a legitimate sale. Oh my God. Then I went to my bank. I said, listen, I got this amount of money and this is what it's for. And they said, fine. And then the head of the bank said, you really need a contract. So I contacted the client and I said, we need to write up a contract because I'm going to be in trouble. It was funny. But it was also sweet because the person that did that trusted me. It's not like I'm such a sophisticated. It never occurred to me that you should put the entire amount on there. But anyway, I don't know. And anyway, that can be tracked. We got the contract from her. She owns let's say she owns a large farm and it's been in her family for decades. There's no issue with anybody tracking that. But I don't know that these people are trying to see if I'm pulling in big dollars. All I have to do is look at my bank account. I have only one bank account. That's it. I used to have one personal, one business, one bank account. That's it. No fun and games, no trying to figure it out, having to do when I do taxes. So I just wanted to let you know that, because if they're doing this, who knows what else they're trying to figure out about me to take me down. If all this stuff about the sex trafficking with Kennedy, if it comes out and they want to go, why are you believing her? Look at what she did. So I just wanted to put that out there because I think yesterday or today, again, they went in. Anglo name, address, and everything, $0 in that one link, which is the link that this client used 4 years ago, but they would already know about that client. These have to be I have no idea. What can I tell you? The bad guys are interesting. Give me 1 second. With the archaeology, not the archaeology, throw out archaeologists, throw out those words. That's it. They cannot get anywhere near any of this. You know why? Because none of them have the guts to say, this looks like they did black magic, or this is proof that there were beings that were 7 feet tall. And this is proof. They don't have any problem saying that the Aztecs and the Mayans would sacrifice souls. People, they don't have any problem with that. They have a really big problem with anything outside of their paradigm. Oh, the Aztecs and the Mayans, they were god-awful. Catholic Church, drinking the blood of Christ. The host is the body of Christ. We need to be careful with this throwing stones. But I guess you have to keep the archaeologists out of that. It's going to be a slow boat to China. Why? We're already behind with those alien bodies in Peru. And I'm not pushing for Peru. Even though, by the way, I did interview the guy that was in charge of, what was it? I forget now. What was he in charge of? I did a podcast with him. And he got into the aliens. It was about aliens. And he got into the whole thing with aliens because his daughter died. He said it on the podcast. And he wanted to figure that out. He had a child that died. And he needed to figure this out. How can this be? Where do I put this information? And he ended up with the whole alien thing. I thought that was very sweet and very interesting. But we are behind there. The people in the know are like, okay, the United States with their materialism. But apparently, this is going to explode. And I think it's not a question of putting this country at the head of the pack. We don't need to try to be number one. Remember, we're leaving hierarchy. What we have to do is not be at the bottom of the pile. What the heck? Besides which, I would love to do it. I really would. Okay, so I think we're kind of finished. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that our mind strings that look like Sunita Williams. Oh my God. No, I know now why I did that. I want you to look at something. This is interesting. This is a little bit, I guess that I didn't get it. Hold on. 1 second. This is important. Sunita Williams came back from space. And we're all now finding out that when you're in space that long, it has effects on your body. Okay, so I want to show you this. Look at her chin. Got it? Now, look at this. In the chin is where the conception channel in acupuncture ends. In other words, that channel comes up the front, ends here, and then we have another channel that comes here. And when the two unite, you get magic, you get electricity. You complete, like when you put the two wires together for electricity, the male and the female wire. The only person that could explain to me what electricity was I think a gardener, or I think it was a gardener. He said, you just put the two wires together. That's electricity. The male and the female wire, put them together and you get electricity. Well, in the body, you have that here. But when I saw that, I realized this channel is the female channel. So she looks like this. I'm concerned. Were there any other women on that trip? What happened to her femaleness? Because we all have male and female energy. Forget the trans stuff. Forget the gay. Forget that. Our bodies have male energy and female energy. Now, maybe in the future they'll have something different, but until now, that's what they have. And this is where the main female energy in terms of the meridian system. What happened to her femaleness? This is I'm not going into conspiracy. Maybe that is something that might be important to be investigated, having to do with space travel. And I don't have an opinion on that now. I just found it shocking because I have realized for years that this part, when it gets long, what does it remind you of? It reminds you of witches who are into magic. Female witches. I don't think that the male witches get this. The black magicians. What does that mean? I don't know. But it's interesting. And that's what science is supposed to be. Look at that. And not start to throw an opinion on it without looking into it. I'm tying things together. This is the major conception channel. Female, acupuncture, we all respect it. And she came back with it totally different. I haven't seen a picture of her before. Maybe she had it prominent from before. I don't know. I must be talking about something important because my nose is really bothering me. And those are the spirits that are able to come in at this level. So I think that the whole thing was what's happening with the pyramids. If you don't even know what the Higgs field is. You know that science has discovered that there's a field that our reality is built upon. That's a Higgs field. It's really called the life web, and we've known about it for centuries. It's grids. Dearie me. Oh dear. So what am I saying that I shouldn't be saying, or that the bad guys would not want me to say? Anyway, you need to know about the Higgs field. You don't even know that. You're going to know what's on top of the pyramids. You're going to know what you could maybe build as you have a spaceship. If you could get that same field around the spaceship, which is what I had thought about before, but I didn't take it beyond just, that might be interesting. Maybe getting off planet and getting back, maybe that could be like a little highway. Instead of being a dome over the pyramids, it could be like a little highway. I don't know. We should look at it, but you cannot have your regular scientists there. And your quantum physicists, you keep them away from this. They never had the guts to admit to people how much they know about the other dimensions because their funding would stop. Okay, I'm going to stop with but we really are in such an important place. We have the opportunity for making such incredible progress. If we can get the people that stop progress out of the way. Does somebody know what that field is on top of the pyramids? They have a name for it, and they don't call it a field. I don't remember what they call it. Okay, we're going to stop right there. And I took too long, therefore we're not even doing mantras. We are in fascinating times. You should be part of the process of at least getting out of the way of revelations. I'm very proud of the United States. I'm very proud of Trump. I would like for Elon to take a break. I am very proud of him. By the way, Elon, I'm putting out a book, I think this week. It's called Sex. We need to figure this out, but you need to see the book. I think you might find it very interesting, having to do with Tesla. So, there's a connection between your car and your sexuality, right? You don't know that, right? No, most people don't. Anyway, I'm happy with what's going on. It's very exciting. And please, when I get like very finger pointing, remember all of the decades I had to work with scientists and military, discovering this incredible stuff that would have helped a lot of people. And it was always a no-go. Okay? Black Rain, you say it's the aura of the pyramids. See, if you're going to do real science, that word aura, there is no definition of the word aura. It's like this thing. And that doesn't work. It has a quality, it has an intention. The word aura is the word that we've had to use because we haven't had the information about the energy bodies, okay? And that's it. We're gonna let it go, and we will tell you tomorrow what we find tonight in our chat in Spanish. We're gonna go visit the pyramids, and I'm gonna be particularly looking at whatever it's above it, and I'll have the name tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Bye.